I'd like to get some Liberty Bells, but I think before I do more Liberty Bells, I need a stronger, proper economy. Much of our economy right now relies upon exploration, although we're making a good bit of money off pearls. It's always pearls, man. His Majesty is delighted to get coats from the colonies. He wants us to get 3,000 sold / bought. Maybe. Decent odds of that, actually. Oh, she wants to give us 10 coffee berries. I appreciate that. And then she's trying to butter me up to buy some worthless peat. I mean, I know it's not worthless, but I don't want it. Especially not at almost 4 gold each. No way. Alright, the Huron have some premium fur and some regular fur to sell. I'll actually go ahead and buy both of those. Our coastal ship is being useful. Now, at the end of this turn, we do have over 2,000 gold, but I think I'd rather keep it on hand just in case. And we'll have that merchantman arrive next turn. The village hall is done in River of Pigs. I think we'll go ahead and build the pier after that. Let's go into the settlement itself. So we'll go pier, and then we want to expand our reach as much as we can. So we'll go with probably the market into the tavern. Right in Europe, let's go ahead, let's sell off everything that we have, and we'll pull out, see what happens. Alright, nothing happened. Alright, to be totally honest, I do not remember what I was doing with this converted native, but I have a interesting idea. I'd like to grab the ability to actually get proper premium fur, and to do that you need an expert trapper. So I loaded him onto the caravel, and they're going to head on up north, up to Ihana Tyria. Actually, well no, it's going to be a lot faster than taking the small coastal ship. This caravel is really quick. Now that this turn is done, it was all mostly just like exploration and stuff. I don't really detail what I do with my exploration strategy now. I think it's probably unimportant really. Let's go ahead and we'll load up the Siberian Lumberjack onto the ship. And then after that we need to really consider what else we can do. We can maybe start doing some weaving. I think I'd like to push a lot of people into River of Pigs right here. And we can build up pig farming and pig butchery. To accomplish that, we're going to need a fisherman, a carpenter, probably that lumberjack that we have. We've already got defenders. We've got the fisherman, we've got the lumberjack. In terms of health, we can maybe fit 2 more people here. Not 2, but like 4-ish. Let's go ahead and let's get the carpenter first. We'll follow that up with I think it's a herder for the pigs, right? Yeah, it's an expert herder. So we'll grab the expert herder now. Yeah, let's do it now. And then let's go ahead, let's pick up a full load of pigs. And we'll call that good for this turn. Send the ship on its way. Once we get that pig butchery done, we'll be making not only the pig skins, but food as well. Alrighty, our renowned medic has arrived in Red Fox. Now this expert fisherman, I think he does just as well as the African slave does. So right now the African makes 10.08. If I replace that with a fisherman, that is actually 11.2, so he is slightly better. Now the African slave can continue to fish, and they'll produce plenty of extra food. This other fisherman shall go onto the boat to go south. This free colonist that has been working as a medic, we're going to pull him out. We're going to figure out somewhere else to place him because he has some experience as a medic after all. Alrighty, we got that healer in. I would like to actually have the spice trader work here for at least 1 turn. So I'm going to have her do some fishing. That'll put us at 20 for the city size. So we should get a nice little reward. This free colonist that has worked as a medic, oh my goodness, the crime noise, man, is so like, that is one thing that is genuinely like kind of aggravating about the game, but it is what it is. I wonder if it could be addressed somehow. I think the same kind of thing can happen in regular Civilization 4 too though, right? We already have a proper medic at Boggy Bay, so setting that free colonist down at Boggy Bay doesn't make sense. Setting him up in River of Pigs makes a lot more sense. A lot more sense. I don't see Rusty Clam ever developing very strongly, other than fur trapping, pearl harvesting, and stone mining with some hardwood. and maybe some lumber. Could make some clay though too. We will have to get carpenters there eventually though if we do want to staff that many people in one spot. They need some kind of infrastructure after all. So I think this free colonist will get onto the Carrick and then go down to the River of Pigs. Another great batch of treasure to sell off. And that is a lot of money. So we just sold that treasure. I don't think we had enough gold on hand. Oh, we didn't. That sucks, man. We don't have the option of actually giving him the gold. Even though I do have the gold now. Yeah, that's too bad. So it doesn't matter if you sell all your stuff in Europe ahead of time. You might end up screwed over anyway. I would like to have that bishop. I don't remember what year it was that I had basically the whole map explored in our other playthrough. But I think we're past that year. I am of course playing on normal speed, so it's to be expected that I don't scout the whole map anywhere near as fast in terms of years, but in terms of turns, it's a different story. I'd say we're doing pretty well overall for having only done 91 turns so far. I do definitely think that my economic development has been a lot slower than it was in the other playthrough though. If you compare my development to Clan Hawkins' development in his playthrough, if you're watching it, you maybe you are, maybe you're not, his Portugal playthrough, I think he's pretty well ahead of me at this point in time. He's also playing, is he playing, no he's playing epic speed, that's right, so he's had more time to develop. Maybe we're doing well. We are technically getting beat in terms of points by the AI, but we're beating them in terms of settlements, which is something I've almost never done before on this skill level. Anyway, we got 8,000 gold to spend. That is a lot of money. I think a safe bet would be trying to invest that further into economy. So we got the pig breeder. Next we're going to need the pig butcher, but we're probably going to need some more food. So I think we can do a hunter for at least a little bit more food. But if I build a city too tall too fast, then their happiness goes completely out of whack, of course, as well as our health. I think what I'd like to do here is maybe build up Boggy Bay a little bit more. We could definitely start working towards building up a cloth industry. Whether we want to do that instead of building up our fur industry more extensively though is a good question. We do technically have one spot available. The roper is just a temporary coat maker. I'm not sure that we could sustain more citizens in terms of happiness, but the spice trader does need to get out of the colony after this turn. And I do like the idea of making more coats to make more money, and that's an easy improvement. Unfortunately, they cannot get onto the galleon, so we might need to consider another passenger ship. But we'll go ahead and grab the master fur trader right now, and then let's give some consideration to the idea of getting another passenger ship. Our caravel has been requisitioned for a little bit of a away trip to the north, and it is almost there, but not quite there. So it's going to be gone for probably 7-8 more turns. We will eventually have this Carrick and the merchantman be returning, but not immediately, and I do want the ability to move my people around more effectively along the water, because control of the water is actually really important now. We're not yet at that stage of building roads between my colonies, I don't think. Although we probably will develop a road between Boggy Bay and the River of Pigs right here, and then build a ranch on the pigs. That makes good sense to me. And then we could build a River of Pigs a little bit more. I think going ahead and picking up another passenger ship makes a lot of sense. They can do multiple things. And there is like an exploity thing that they can do that I'm not going to discuss, but it exists if you want to look for it in the Discord. Basically, you take advantage of a price differential between Africa and Port Royal in Europe to basically just trade goods and trade more goods and trade more goods, like buy low, sell high, etc. And you can make a lot of money just trading between the ports if you really want to. I don't think that was meant to be like an exploit, but there was one guy that figured out a way to make huge money. So hopefully the devs take a look at that. But hey, maybe they leave it alone. If you want to do that, have fun, you know? Ooh, a passenger ship purchase is a good choice right now. I'm not alarmed by the prices of these ships. I'm a big fan of more merchantmen. I think paying 400 more gold to be able to enter Shallow Coast is a pretty good deal, although it's not as good against privateers, and I would say that we're not that far from the age of the privateer. Let me chat with the English real quick, make sure that they, yeah, they don't want to, be nice to us. Huh. You know, it'd be a shame if something would happen to them. I think we do it. I think we roll out one privateer. I don't think they have a navy yet. That does mean that I cannot get a passenger ship right now, unless I buy another caravel. Could buy a flute. Flute does have 3 cargo slots. Or a Caravella Redonda, which moves even faster than a flute. I like the Caravella Redonda. 5 movement is nice. Let's take that ship, sure. We'll send the privateer back, and the galleon, of course. Fur trader will get onto the Caravella Redonda. I probably need to buy these things more. They're pretty good. I had to take a momentary break there to sleep. But we're back now. And I have noticed something that actually kind of annoys me, is that the English decided to set up a colony right here. And let's go ahead and let's mark that. So that settlement is a 0 health settlement. The issue with this settlement is that eventually the borders will probably expand to here. This means that I would have to sail around the settlement in order to reach Rusty Clam, if I wanted to come in by ship. I really do not want that to happen, so I think we're going to have to invest in the military here, and at least take this colony right there. And we may consider harassing the English more. That privateer cannot arrive fast enough. We got the Jolly Roger story, and here you go if you'd like to read it. We also have a quest to build 6 ships sailing with hidden nationality. If we win them for our cause, the surviving buccaneers of another outpost will join us. That'll take some time, but it is possible. Just very expensive. 44 gold for 11 rubber, I don't think so. And 6% taxes instead of 2%, we're doing that well now, huh? So we could avoid this tax increase if we destroy all fur and red fox, which is quite a bit of money, and then we'd be unable to trade that good with Europe. And fur is an easy way for us to profit from native villages, so I'd rather not do that. We will be His Majesty's loyal subject for now. Alright, pigs have arrived, as well as the lumberjack, the carpenter, and the herder. First people we're going to get to work is going to be the lumberjack. He's going to produce 10 lumber for us along that river right there. And the carpenter is going to take over for the hemp planter. I'm going to pull the hemp planter out completely. And instead we're going to probably put in the expert herder to start working ASAP on the pigs, making 11 pigs. Although producing more pigs at the moment is not that important, let's have him do some carpentry instead to help us build all the infrastructure that we need to make use of the pigs. That'd be a good temporary thing. Now this hemp planter, he could do hunting and he could support himself, so let's have him. Oh, we're at 3 unhappiness now. It's pretty bad. Let's pull him out. 2 unhappiness. We might be okay with that. If we build a pier, does a pier provide happiness? No, it does not, but a market does. I don't want the village to revolt completely, so let's take the herder out as well. That'll put us at still 2 unhappiness. Okay, I guess we'll just have to settle for that then. I'm gonna pour some gold into River of Pigs to accelerate its production. So we'll accelerate the pier. That'll get us some more progress on the village market after that, and we'll probably rush the village market as well not too long after. The sooner we get people happier here, the sooner we can add all these colonists that I have sitting around, including the fishermen and the, well, not the guy trained to be a medic, but we want them added pretty soon. Long last, the disillusioned missionary from probably 2 episodes ago that I mentioned going to Boggy Bay has finally arrived. We'll have to get some more food production here, but now we have more crosses, so we can get more immigrants. We're actually doing pretty okay on happiness, so I want to switch over in Boggy Bay to probably building a storage house. We need more space. I think this turn I'm also going to see if the Portuguese have a map that they would like to trade with us. I want to see. They'll give us 30 gold. I'll see. Oh wow. Oh, okay. They have a founding father that marks all these hostile native villages. So yeah, there you go. There is the size of the gigantic map. It is absolutely enormous. We'll just go ahead and we'll zoom out as far as we can, and as we scroll, You pretty much just keep going and going and going. Let's take a look at this peninsula here. This is a interesting little landform. The Portuguese have a size 21 city, so they must have beaten us to that quest. I noticed that we didn't get a quest reward for going over size 20, so the Portuguese did in fact get there before us. They've got a trading post. There's also, I think this is an English. Was that an English mission? Or is that a Portuguese mission? Who knows? We need to go have a chat with those coastal villages and see if they'd like to purchase some firearms. The Swedes are down here as well. They built a mission in Chiruma, a trade post in Guanapo, and it looks like they've kind of leapfrogged the Portuguese, settling northwest of them. Even further northwest, goodness. Then there's the Spanish over here. I have not yet actually met the Spanish. So it's pretty interesting that in terms of access to land, 3 of the other colonies ended up on this little peninsula. So their ability to explore was really impeded by just proximity to each other. It looks like the Portuguese are expanding further and further to the north here. In order for us to get over there with this carrack, it would take us 14 turns to travel that distance. Let's take a quick look at any resources and see if anything sticks out. There's some gems that are being accessed by the Portuguese, so they're making a lot of gems. Probably using an excavator, which is their unique unit. Bunch of sugar in the Swedish areas, but nothing really sticks out to me. I don't see, oh, there is gold right here. Holy crap, dude. The Portuguese, of course, they got access to gold. There's surely going to be an excavator. Or excavator? Yeah, excavator here in Rio de Janeiro. That sucks. The Portuguese, man, I feel like they are the strongest AI. Like, they need to be toned down a little bit. Maybe they're not as powerful on a normal size map, but if the mod is truly developed based on normal speed, gigantic map size, then I think the Portuguese need a little bit of a nerf. English do have gems right here. That's something I need to consider. The distance to get over there is probably about 7 turns by carrack, maybe 6 turns. We got really unlucky in terms of gold up here in the north. There's not a drop of gold anywhere I can see, anywhere close by to our colonies. Look at all the resource icons, way too many to look at, goodness. Now there is one single resource of gold way over here that is in the northern hemisphere that I can see. But we will never mine that gold. It would take way too long. Okay, we got the village hall done in Rusty Clam. Oh my goodness, using only the +1 hammer that you get base. After that, we do want to focus on cultural expansion, so the village market makes a lot of sense to me. Same thing in Roughneck. We want cultural expansion, I think, first and foremost. So let's go ahead and let's go with the village market here as well. Hey, we got 23 furs as a gift from the Crow. They are at +2 still. They forget that we stole their land so fast. That's really impressive. I mean, that's great though. Like, I would love to have a bunch of Crow reservations. Like, that's a terrible thing to say. But it is true in this game. Hey, a freed slave. A guy got his freedom. Oh yeah, spice traders, get the hell out. See, it's one thing that I always gotta watch out for is forgetting to take care of certain things. Because, you know, stuff happens. You go to sleep, you wake up. Let's put this guy back to being a fisherman. He was doing a pretty good job at it. Might as well let him continue. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and rush the village market right now. It only costs us 412 gold, and oh, if we could get more lumber here, it'd probably be cheaper. But I guess I'm not too worried about it, actually. It does build in 2 turns. I'd rather spend the gold on something else. Our carpenters are doing a pretty fine job. Now, up here, back at Red Fox, there is a unit that is going to get on a ship. A special native mercenary with a brave lieutenant attached to it. And maybe even a colonial militia, because we do have a slave overseer to protect the colony. Although I bet people will get pissed off if they don't have enough defenders, right? Yeah, let's just go with the native mercenary and see what happens. We're going to go down to that island and say hello. Native mercenary finally reached the expert trapper village to learn what he's doing, so we'll go ahead and get him doing that right now. That should be pretty quick. I think I will go ahead and buy some premium fur and regular fur from these dudes. That is very cheap considering how much money that we're going to make selling the stuff. And then I think we'll hang around for a moment and see how fast this dude's gonna... Oh wait, we'll be full on cargo. Very true. We'll go ahead and sail back then and drop off in Roughneck and then come back. And our galleon has come back, as well as our privateer and our Caravella Redonda with our fur trader who's going to go do his thing. But the privateer is one of the more interesting things that arrived, so we can get a look at this colony down here. It is unprotected. Very interesting indeed. Let's sail a little bit further south, and hopefully if we go down south we can intercept anything coming from that direction. Let me go ahead and fix this note right here. There we go. Fur can finally be kicked out and replaced with a actual fur trader for once. And this guy I think we're going to set to premium fur as well. We actually need even more coat makers. We have plenty of fur income as well as premium furs from our trading expeditions. We are acting very French, but well, the Russians did treat the natives quite badly, but they mainly traded with them, I think. They had a few colonies. The ones in Alaska never got very big, based on what I read at least. We have 309 horses. We need to consider doing something with those. I might go sell them in Africa. I really like that idea. Because I don't need more scouts, and I don't need dragoons. And I only need a few for settlers. So I say we take about 2 full loads of those and sell them in Africa. We can also send some luxury coats along with those. They sell for the same there. In Africa we might be picking up some more slaves, but we'll see. If I can add this roper again, I might be able to pull off getting some more Liberty Bells. And it looks like I can do it in terms of happiness. We just need some law and order. Alternatively, I could have them make cheese, and then we could make the colony happier that way and make some money. But doing Liberty Bells does increase our efficiency very slightly, though it's not very much, to be honest. Having them make cheese might be the better way to go, although Founding Father points, so I say we go with Founding Father points. Political points are way... I wouldn't say they're too hard to come by in this game, but they're hard to come by. This scout is hurt enough that I'm actually going to go ahead and start giving him his promotions. Since he's a medic, I really don't want him to get into conflict if I can help it. So I should probably just give him Surgeon too. Yeah, sure. Then let's go with Drill Sergeant for more experience points from combat, perhaps? Yeah, sure. And it is time to roll the dice on the mission in Ehartsar. Let's roll those dice. We got it. Very wonderful. So now that we're beginning to approach naval combat with a new movement system, we actually have some questions as to what we'd like to do. We could move into the unfavorable wind right here and receive a defense bonus for this turn. However, that would cause us to move not quite as far unless we have -1 terrain movement cost. No, we don't. And if you hover over the promotions in the bottom right here, you can see all your promotions. I'm surprised at Clan Hawkins, since you're probably watching, I'm surprised I didn't know about that one. But I'm not too surprised, I guess. There's still a lot of things in this mod that I don't know and you've actually revealed to me. Like, I would like to get some veteran town guards in not too long. I think we go ahead and we go into the unfavorable wind for a defensive bonus. You never know what we're going to come up against. We could come up against a frigate. We have a frightened native waiting humbly in our servants' quarters. His tribe disowned him because he fled instead of fighting when conquistadors raided his village. He begs for our mercy and a new chance. Receive 1 converted native, or receive between 50 and 100 gold and gain a +1 relations boost with Pine Leaf. Huh. Think we'll be able to get enough relations boost with Pine Leaf on our own. I'm not going to sell this guy off. He can be a very useful worker. Oh, hello, Mr. Czar. Our farmers back home have had their harvest ruined. So we need to send the King, the Czar, 1,194 gold to reinforce the palace guards to keep the poor out. I think that we may just go ahead and accept this to reduce the maximum tax rate. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We make our decisions with a long-term plan in mind. And that long-term plan is basically industrialize. With the construction of the village market, we're now positive on happiness here in River Pigs, so I can go ahead and add some more people if I'd like to do so. I'm thinking I want to set the fishermen to do some kind of automated fishing, so that when the borders expand, He'll do very well at getting the fish right here. After that, we're neither happy nor unhappy. So I don't think I'd like to add anybody else. The medic guy doesn't need to do anything else. I want him to stay and become a medic one day. The hemp planter, I kind of want to take him out of here and take him to the eastern island to set up there. I'm still not totally certain about that though. We've got everything that we need in a Red Fox to equip the Master Spice Trader as a settler to go settle the colony along the lake. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I don't think that, that does not interfere with the lumber mill, but we do need some more food income here in not too long. Now the Master Spice Trader could, well, they're going to have to walk all the way over there. The best that they could do is hitch a ride over to the coast over here, but I think everybody is tied up at the moment. So walking it is. Yes, we do have the converted native, so let's have him do some fishing, please, to improve our food supply. That does make our law even worse though, and our unhappiness even greater. We may wish to remove the... We get 1 happiness from Liberty Bell production actually, huh? But those guys aren't, like, vital to the cause. I'm just worried about getting some riots going on in Red Fox, so we need to do something about the unhappiness first, after the lumber mill. So the best way to address that is probably going to be a town market. We could build something smaller that requires tools. We could build a village well that give us +1 health, +1 happiness, requires 10 tools in 3 turns. I'll definitely consider doing that. Yeah, let's do that after the lumber mill. I think that we can get away with 2 unhappiness for a little while, but we'll be rolling the dice. Privateer is slinking around over here. It does not look like there's going to be any reinforcements coming to the aid of that colony. And if that's the case, Operation Oi You What is a go. I don't think they have any guns here. Yeah, so we should be able to just take... Oh wait, if it's a size 1, they might get destroyed completely. I'd rather they get destroyed completely though and us not have to fight through that chevaux de frise or bombard it, so let's do it now. Yep, it got burned down. That is what it is. Let's go ahead and let's rename this real quick to Settle Soon to keep the English and anybody else away from our little island right here. I really would prefer not to lose control of the passageway. With the destruction of that village, do I want to see if I can get the English to get off my backs finally? They will indeed. Maybe they'll give us some money as well. They're up to 3 settlements. So they were at 4 before I destroyed that one. There's no way they'll agree to this, but let's go ahead and let's just see if they'll give us everything. No, of course not. What about Plymouth? Would he do that? Nope. I bet they'll do it for the gold though. That sounds fine to me. Wait, no? You'd rather just a white piece, huh? Considering the amount of unhappiness this is generating among my colonies, I would definitely prefer to stop this little conflict. So let's see if he'll take white peace. And he will. Alrighty then. And just like that, Red Fox's happiness is much better, as well as should be everybody's realistically. Yep, Rusty Clam's doing good, Roughneck's doing good, River of Pigs is doing so much better. Boggy Bay is doing absolutely wonderful at 9. Yeah, war really does make your population unhappy if it's against another European in the mod. As well as happiness in River of Pigs, I can have people start doing their jobs again. Or doing some extra work. You know, the only thing, one of the few things better than a medic is a statesman, in my opinion. I could have this guy work as a statesman, at least temporarily. I will of course forget that he exists though if I do that. So I'm gonna go with, I mean it's only 6 turns. Actually he can become a carpenter. Let's pull the herder out. Yeah, 6 turns of knowledge, that's, what is that, that's 18 turns on marathon speed? That is quite a bit actually. That would be like, usually it takes about 20 turns, I think, if your happiness is okay on normal speed. If we go ahead and build a medical office right now, he can start doing his job right away. But I don't really want to do that. I'd rather start building a butcher shop, because we don't need the tavern. Yeah, let's get the butcher house built first, that'll build faster. Especially once I have the herder actually helping out. Although, yeah, it went from 4 to 3, right? Eh, who knows. These guys will just continue standing around. It's not optimal, but it's better than me putting him as a statesman and meaning to make him a medic one day and then forgetting the dude exists. There's a privateer right there. I see the English or somebody else is supremely pissed off and decided to come say hello to us. We'll pay the money to keep the road from getting destroyed right here. I'd rather not have to spend quite a few turns climbing that hill again. Alright, Mr. Christopher Newport, who is rather Englishly named. He has 33 strength. He would be able to take down our merchantman. He can move at